Hola, mi nombre es Joseph Gaines. Yo soy de Dalhart, Texas. Me gusta levantar pesas y corriendo. Eso es mi final presentación para Español 2301. Al principio pensaba que el español daba, pero mi entrenadora hizo español fácil. ¿Quién es mi entrenadora? Mi entrenadora es Winnie Torres. Ella es de Lima, Perú. Ella tiene no hijos, tiene un novio. Ella tiene dos hermanas. Ella les gusta la playa y corriendo y haga ejercicio. Ella no le gusta tomates. ¿Qué ropa? There we go. ¿Qué ropa le recomiendas? Eso es muy tradicional en Perú para los indígenas en Lima, Perú. ¿Qué tipo de ropa le gusta a mi entrenadora? Mi entrenadora Winnie Torres les gusta la ropa deportiva. Ella le gusta la corriendo y los pantalones cortos y las minifaldas. Ella no le gusta la ropa formal. ¿Cómo era ese lugar? Problemas ambientales. En Perú, deforestación es un problema grande. Es muy problema en Perú. Desastres naturales. La polución para la playa es también el problema en Perú. Desastres naturales. En Perú, earthquakes es muy común y un grande problema para los citizens. Transporte popular. En Perú, el tren es muy común y muy popular para los citizens. Ecoturismo en Perú. En Perú, la playa es muy popular y las montañas es muy popular. Como era la vida que finita de atrás. ¿Qué tendencias de inmigración en Perú? En Perú, inmigración para la venezolanos es muy común. Mi entrenador me dijo, un peruvians para muchos problemas son inmigrantes. Mi entrenadora me dijo, algunos inmigrantes son criminales y delincuentes. Y los inmigrantes take trabajo from los peruvians. ¿Qué pensaba cuando se creó la obra de arte? ¿Qué museo popular en Perú? En Perú, Beyond Van Gogh es muy popular. Eso es la museo. ¿Quién es su artista favorita para mi entrenador? Mi entrenadora les gustan las estatuas y ella le gusta mucho Vincent Van Gogh y Donatello y Michelangelo. Ella no les gustan las artes abstracto. Como hemos reinterpretado la historia. En Perú, COVID es muy histórico. Costó muchos problemas para los citizens. Mi entrenadora me dijo que durante el COVID el gobierno estaba controlado a los ciudadanos y que la revolución es muy importante en Perú porque los peruanos obtuvieron libertad como Estados Unidos. Alright, so the reflection. I really liked meeting with my coach every week, and I felt that's definitely where I learned the majority of my Spanish speaking abilities was meeting with Miss Winnie Torres. Because that's, it was sink or swim. You either spoke Spanish and understand the language and got a good grade, or, unfortunately you didn't. And it was definitely interesting to learn about her culture and her life and how she interacts with her family and how much it's different than over here in the United States. But one thing I definitely enjoyed more this semester was the opportunities we were given to talk about more complex topics. You know, it was interesting last semester, but basically what it boiled down to was learning about, oh, what's your coach's favorite food? And what do they like to do in their free time? And, you know, what music do they listen to? Whereas I thought it was a lot more interesting this semester to learn about what are some of the, you know, the immigration trends in their country and how do the citizens feel about these immigrations? And what are the differences between that and here in the United States? I also found it interesting to learn about some of the problems they're facing naturally over there, you know, like the deforestation, like I mentioned, and how they have a lot of problems with pollution on the beach. And she talked a lot about how they were working to you know, fix those problems about with protests and such. You know, and it was interesting to learn how she volunteered at those events and how she helped pick up the beach and, you know, protect some of the wildlife there. But it was definitely really interesting to learn about the history of Peru, because one event that we both lived through was the event of COVID-19, which was terrible. But it was interesting to learn how her government handled it and how, very similar to America, they just shut everything down and didn't let people go out and socialize. And, you know, it was just interesting to learn how it was handled, but it definitely also showed me, like, mentioned on the 6 Scales of Power, the government has a lot more control in Peru than in the States. You know, in the States, it's more like everybody is just doing their own thing and the government's there doing stuff for us, whereas in Peru, it seemed to me, at least the way she talked about it, the government controlled essentially all the things that they do. Oh, there we go. Another thing that interested me was learning about how closely the communities are knitted there, whereas, you know, in America, everybody just kind of looks out for their family, and there, all these communities are linked together. I definitely enjoyed this experiment, and it's one that I certainly won't forget. But that'll be the end of my presentation there. Thank you for watching.